Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Ask Dr. Be Good show, where we come every week to show the neat things that are happening in public education. In this case, we have with us parents who are joining us to share a little bit about what their life has been like the last few weeks. We're in week 4 of closure, week 3 of low-tech, high-tech instruction. And so we've got some very obvious questions for them to have them share with us. What is life like at home now with the kids being, that cute little cliche about a parent is a child's first teacher? Well, guess what? Now your kid's only teacher sort of at home, right? So let's get started. Who do we have here? Let's start with, let's see. No, who's, all right, somebody jump in there.
Well, I'll say I'm Beatrice Cordova. I've got my son Joaquin. He is in 7th grade at Legacy in Plano, and I will have an incoming kindergartner next year.
Wow, yes. Already. I remember when you were pregnant. Thank you.
Yes, so we're longtime Legacy people. We've been there for 8, going on 9 years. So
you're finishing 8, and then the little one will be starting on 9th year.
Yes.
Go ahead.
This is Dawn Gent, and I have one child at Legacy, Jackson, and he is an 8th grader. We've been at Legacy since 3rd grade, and even though he's an 8th grader, Legacy has been exceptional in that they've accelerated him taking 9th and 10th grade classes. So it's exceptional experience.
He's an exceptional child. All right, go ahead.
Nice. Hi, my name is Itia Mateo. I have Aitza. She's been a kindergartner. She's on 2nd grade. And we love Legacy. That's why my granddaughter is going to Legacy hopefully next year as well.
So what location are you in?
I'm in Dallas.
Yeah.
She goes to the Mesquite campus.
And I believe Ms. Caramillo will be joining us in a minute. Ms. Caramillo is the PTO president, I believe, from Mesquite also. So we'll start the conversation, welcome her when she comes in. So who wants to start first? The first question is, what did you think when you first heard that we might be closing for a week? That was sort of a cute little, the advance notice was a week. What did you think about that?
Well, originally first, my husband said, oh, vacation time. And I'm like, no, we're not going anywhere because we're going to get stuck somewhere with everything that is happening. Then when we got the second email saying, this is it, we're not opening again, I was like, whoa. I'm going to have to call somebody, the school district. I cannot lose the year. So I actually thought of homeschooling by the District of Dallas right away. I own a business, so my business had to close because it was not essential. So I was like, I have plenty of time now to do it. And I was going to call whenever we got the second email saying no, actually the third email saying we're going to do homeschooling. So it was a relief for me. But yeah, I immediately freaked out completely.
I know for us, we actually had done just a small little trip on our actual spring break week. So for us, the first week we thought, okay, awesome. We'll, get the house a little bit in order. Everybody can relax a little bit. And then, of course, my son, though, is like devastated because he believes that Legacy should be open every day. So he, of course, right away got on his, said, I need to start doing my Achieve 3000. And so he did a little bit of that. And, we kind of tried to keep a little bit of some schooling going on. I had him to just do like 30 minutes of Achieve and just kind of keep a little bit of the routine going a tiny bit. But you know, at first, of course, we were like, woohoo, and then we're like, oh. And now that it's gone longer and longer, I'm like, when is this ending?
So, or did you see yesterday, Dr. Hinojosa from Dallas ISD was heard to say, yeah, we're probably not going to reopen this year. What do you think about that?
Oh, I know it's heart-wrenching. I mean, I think for mine, I think, okay, he's in 7th grade and just the little stuff that they were doing, but like the seniors and the 8th graders and the, you know, kindergartners that do have a graduation ceremony, my heart just goes to those families because they've done that year, and it's a huge achievement model for those kids, and for them not to be able to have them, you know. And I know mine, he's missing his friends, he's missing his teachers. I mean, thank God we do live in the world right now that we do have all the technology that he can Skype with his teachers, or he can do a Zoom meeting with his teachers or his friends, or, you know, phone calls, and they're still doing some group activities. So that's the good thing.
Ms. Gant?
Yes, I would say a couple of different things. One, it was a mixture of feelings of, yes, I want to keep my child safe. I love the idea of keeping him safe because here, home, he's safe. But then just the same way as what B stated, Jackson's missing the social aspect, because the social aspect is so important for his development and growth and just his overall health. It's something that we're all in an unknown state, but we're all in the same state right now. We all share the unknown of what's going on right now. And again, I agree with B. I am so appreciative of Legacy, and that we have so many different means that we have been kept informed. We have newsletters, we've got Remind, we've got all the technology assistance. There's so many different ways we're kept informed, but the social aspect is the aspect I think that is most missing.
Right. Well, we've been trying to over communicate, and that sounds good, and we keep doing it, but it also can lead to parents sort of ignoring some of our messages. So, you know, we're caught between and betwixt, but we do have a whole lot more information on the website. The Facebook page must fill a void or a need in parents, because we have 1,600 kids and I've got over 3,000 followers or likes on that Facebook page. So people, and I'll tell you, people are using the Facebook Messenger as another way of communicating with the district. So for some parents, the Facebook Messenger is like calling the district line. It's been interesting watching that develop over time.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm glad that you feel communicated with. We really have been working hard to keep everyone in the loop. So, well, how have your routines at home changed as far as well, first of all, being safe, and then online instruction, high tech, low tech, whatever you're having to do with your aged child?
I would say in our household, something that I felt was a need just because of how my son is he needs routine. So for us, we try to get up as early as possible, but about 7:15 as opposed to 6, and shower before he gets started on his work, a really good breakfast. And for him, he wanted to be in the social setting of in the kitchen at the kitchen table as opposed to way in an office. And I love the fact that they gave the schedule, a proposed schedule, an example schedule. And we try to stay with that as much as possible. But I also like to try to do whatever is best for Jackson with whatever he's working on. Because if he needs a little bit more time and he's really into an activity, I would much rather he continue to stay in that to completion. And that has been a very fortunate thing for us.
I see that Ms. Jaramillo has come on. Ms. Jaramillo, go ahead and take video. You're muted. You're muted.
Hi, good morning. Sorry for the delay. I was having a few issues with technology.
Not a problem. You know, it's an imperfect science, and the fact that we're able to do this much is,
It's great.
and some of you may have heard me say on other podcasts, we're literally being dragged into the 21st century, right? Not only parents, but teachers. Some of our
Yes.
teachers who maybe haven't been as faithful to their computers are going to be good at it by the end of this.
Mhm.
And I think it's going to change schooling tremendously. I think it's going to advance schooling about 10 years because my hope is that as teachers get comfortable doing blended learning, which is sending the videos and then having kids come and then asking them questions about the video, that's a practice that they continue doing even when school starts back up. Ms. Jaramillo, how do you feel about all this? How has this impacted your family and your home?
Well, I would say at the beginning, I was pretty excited to stay home only because I thought that was the safest because of the virus going on. And I was kind of hoping we'd do something similar to this for the safety of the family and the school, of course. It's been a challenge just because we're learning as we go, the teachers as well as the parents, and just trying to be patient with, the work coming through, the fact sometimes we get the attachment, sometimes we don't, but it's a learning process for everybody. And it's been interesting. I really like it. Like I say, we do say, like the other mom was saying, I have to keep my kids on a routine, because if I don't, they think it's the summer and they can do whatever they want. But I've been emphasizing that for me at the beginning, I was not fully aware that everyday attendance was being monitored. So I learned that a little later, but now I'm making sure my kids, they have to get up just like they're at school. So it's no other, different. So we're learning as we go. And I've been texting the teacher saying, please be patient. Let me know, because sometimes when they email the kids, sometimes I'm not sure what else going on. So I've been logging on to my son, the oldest, Echo, emails. I've been doing it all just to make sure I'm not missing anything. But it's a learning process, but I'm enjoying it. I really have.
Well, I'm going to tell you a secret. The state of Texas wasn't prepared for this either. Okay. I got wind of this Wednesday of spring break. By Thursday, we had closed down for the week, the following week. And by Friday, I think we were closing, for longer. And the commissioner's calls started Thursday of spring break at 3:00. It went through the weekend every day at 3:00. We would talk to the commissioner and they would tell us, don't worry about attendance, don't worry about grades. Just if you make an attempt at learning and teaching and learning, we can continue paying you. Well, here we are 3 weeks later. Guess what they're saying now? Well, we're going to need evidence of grades. We're going to need evidence of attendance. We're going to need, but we knew that. There's no such thing as a nice federal and state government long term. They're just,
Right.
When it involves money, there's just not going to be no strings attached forever.
Mhm.
Those strings started appearing pretty fast, but they were literally flying the plane while building it, just like we were. And so if you've not had a chance to go to the TA website and look at the COVID-19 updates, you will be blown away by what they have created online as far as frameworks. And those are things that have been sent in by different districts as best practices or people, things that their own people have put up there. And so within a week, we all were, well, of course, we were sending home meals the Tuesday after spring break. And then, and that changed also. We were told we could do the summer schedule of send home 5 days a week of meals, breakfast and lunch. And then we were told we could send home 7 days, a whole week, to anybody who had kids 1 to 18. And then they came back and said, just last week, I believe they said, you can't send home on weekends or holidays anymore. So that's why you saw the message then go out last week or this week about we can only send home 4 days of food this week, and next week is pickup after the holidays for 4 days. So as the rules came to us, by the different agencies, then we have to come and say, we can. So we're all trying to figure it out. But again, we praise teachers, we praise you guys for your patience and for your forbearance, and while we're figuring this out. And today's pictures started coming in for Facebook about what online learning looks like. And if you haven't had a chance, you can do that later. The teacher took a picture of the screen with the kids on there, and we're starting to get numbers in the 20s who are on there with their teacher having school. So, those kids didn't do that by themselves. That was a parent effort to get those kids, especially third grade. And first grade. I've got pictures from first grade and third grade on there. So you know that there's parent effort behind that.
Dr. Good, may I make a comment?
Yes.
Something that I want to praise the teachers and the school is that it's a little different when you just see the grade on Echo and maybe help with homework every once in a while they were in school, as opposed to seeing everything that they're doing in every single class and the amazement of everything that they're doing in the school. And I commend the school, because I guess I took for granted the amount of varying education that my son's learning at Legacy. So I want to thank you.
Well, thank you for that. We had to create a document. I don't know if it's hit you guys yet. And that was a document to explain the fact that we really don't expect every child to sit in front of the computer and go through their master schedule at school. Because we do understand we have parents who are still working. We do have essential workers who leave the home and whose kids are not allowed on devices, rightly so, until the parent gets home. And so that's why we have some after-hour office hours with some teachers, or with all teachers actually, a couple times a week, to be able to answer questions from parents who are just now coming home at 5 or 6, breathing, getting dinner, and then sitting down at the table and starting the day's work with their kids.
Wow.
So we sent home a graphic organizer about, we've got the Legacy crest in the middle, and all these activities or these content areas and the electives, all that floats around it, because they're things that should be done as part of their math, part of their ELA, part of PE, because physical activity is super important right now, but it doesn't have to be done 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. It doesn't. And so a lot of parents like that kind of schedule, and if that's what they want to do, that's fine. But that's not the only model that we have for parents. And so as we get better at this and we get better at understanding the environments that our kids are learning in and at home, we get better at understanding the models that we need to present to parents. And because parents are feeling anxious. I mean, are you guys, anybody feeling anxious about all this?
Yeah, just even going to the grocery store. I go by myself. I, have a list and know exactly where I'm going, come home, take that clothes off, take a shower. Wash my hands, clean the groceries, put them up, and then go take a shower head to toe and throw that clothes in the washer, because you just don't know. Shoes are not in the house anymore, but it's really scary. I mean, even we do, like you say, PE time. I tell the boys every day at 5:30, we're PE time, go outside. And they go outside and they ride their bikes around the neighborhood. And as soon as we see a couple of kids group up together, I'm like, okay, we're going out of the front yard, we're going into the backyard, because you just don't know. I mean, even at the store, if anybody's coughing or sneezing, I'm like, going down a different aisle.
Yeah. How about you, Miss Mateo? Unmute, Miss Mateo.
I'm sorry about that. I think everyone's life have changed tremendously. For us here, normally Aita gets up in the morning. She normally up anyway. Like I said, I'm a businesswoman, normally we're like up, and then Aita goes to school, and then I go to my office, and then, but now it's here, everything is here. She haven't been outside in 3 weeks. So yesterday I needed to go get something at the store. I have made masks for us because I know how to sew. And so we're like mask, gloves, and she's looking at me like, Mom, I look weird. And I'm like, well, that's the new normal. I was like, the same way you're doing school from home and we're all at home, and that's the new normal. We have to adapt to everything. So that was an experience yesterday at the store with her, because I'm like, oh, don't touch that. Oh, even that she's wearing gloves, and I'm like, okay, but let's hand sanitize the gloves because you touched something you didn't have to. So it's just like she's looking at me like I'm crazy. But that's the new normal, and that's just like I told her, you're doing home, the completely different thing of school. We're all at home, which is normally not happening ever in this house. So it's like we have to adapt. So by the time we got home, she was like, oh, I'm exhausted. And I'm like, yeah, that's happening now because it's different.
So, Ms. Caramillo, any positives from all of this?
Well, I think the positive side of all this going on is, for example, in our family, it's kept us a lot more united. It's kept the kids to be more alert, and they value the work of the teachers. Like the other day, my daughter was like, Mom, one of the teachers was at midnight still grading my work, and they notice all that because we get the alerts. The teacher has just graded this. The teacher has just sent an assignment. So I'm appreciative that they are noticing things like this. They're noticing that, we don't just go, before we didn't just go dump them off at school and they just kind of played in class or did. No, everything's very important in life. And so now even more so today. And so I feel they're appreciating life more, and we're not trying to scare them. Like, oh, we're not going to live tomorrow. No, it's just we have to be precautious and we have to be careful. And so that's been a thing for us. I think the kids are valuing the time at home and the work that the school really has done in the past and is doing even more so currently today.
Thank you. Anybody else have positives that have come out of this situation?
Well, it's been great. With us, it's been great. Miss Melendez has done an excellent job. She's in the office. She's pretty much all day, even after 3 o'clock. She's always asking everything it's okay. She called, I think, every kid during the day a couple of times on Google Hangouts to make sure they're okay, if they need anything. She sent emails. Aitza is very missing everyone because Aitza loves her teacher. Aitza loves everyone in the classroom. So to her, knowing that her teacher cares, and then she's learning as well, it's been great. Honestly, it's been great. The communication, even that sometimes I think like every parent, like, oh, Legacy is sending something else, but it's been great. We would have been complaining if we didn't have anything at all. So I think communication, to me, it's the best thing in the world because it's keeping everyone informed, especially with the new normal.
Ms. Jen?
A couple of different things. One of them is the sense of family time and the time that we spend together, even simple things, being out in the yard work, gardening, watching how spring is actually happening as opposed to, oh my God, we came home and the flowers were bloom. Now we actually watch the process of things budding. The family time that we spend on the phone with family and friends that are in other states, being able to talk to Jackson, being able to talk to his 80-year-old grandfather, and also the sense of community in our neighborhood. There are neighbors that we've never spoken to, and we've been here 2 years. And when we're out doing yard work, they stay on their side of the street, we're on our side of the street, and we're talking, we're sharing. It's a sense of community that we didn't have. And then the last thing was an opportunity that I got to share with Jackson when I had just asked him, how are you doing with all of this? What do you think about what's going on? And it was over breakfast, and he actually expressed, I am scared. I'm worried about, and he shared about safety, but he also shared about money because I'm 100% commission and I'm not working now. I'm on furlough. And so it was a time to share with him that is not something you need to worry about right now. That is for us to work through. And we do not have to worry about our house and our food. But to have an 8th grader worried about the finances is huge.
Wow.
It is. So as you've heard me say, if you've listened to past podcasts, 30 minutes feels like 5 when we're in here, and we're very close to that time. What, I'm going to go around the room, go around the table. If we were in the real podcast studio, we'd be around the table. And I'm going to ask you, what, in a sort of 30 seconds, what advice do you give parents who are currently struggling at home, trying to juggle kids and homeschool and possibly working from home? Ms. Cordova.
I think my bit of advice is just live. I mean, like you said, they can't sit down for 8 hours. We're not expecting them to do that. I mean, my son does maybe 3 hours of work, and he picks one subject a day. That works great for him. So like today is his science day, so he'll do all his science work today, and then we go outside. We, as much as we can, we're outside working in the yard, playing, riding a bike, whatever they're doing, I get my time too. So I think that's a big thing for the parents too, is that they need to have their time. They need to realize that, I know that it's a huge struggle. We're all going through it, but they need to reach out to people. I'm constantly, calling friends, texting friends. Dawn and I text the other day, just, hey, how are you doing? Do you want to talk? Do you anything? So, but I think they just need to relax and enjoy themselves. I mean, I'm loving the family time that we're doing, because we run. If he doesn't get home till 5 because he's got to sign up for robotics and band and this and that. And so I don't see him till 5:30. And then he has outdoor soccer that he has joined. So, and we're going because we've got the other one that we've got to go. So I'm just trying to enjoy the family time, this little bit of growth time that we have together.
There's a lot of positiveness that can happen here.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ms. Mateo?
Well, it's been, I like it. The parents, I know there's a lot of parents that are not tech savvy, but it's giving you time. Just take the time and learn your kids. I have learned, I knew Aita and I were always been very involved in the schoolwork, but now that she's here all day knowing what she does, I learned a different way that she has learned over there. The teacher has to teach her how to learn differently than what I have taught her at home. So I'm actually learning from her and she's learning from me. So just take the time, be with your kids, be involved. Show them that even that you don't know your stuff and they don't know their stuff, you guys can learn together.
Cool. Ms. Gann?
Be appreciative of the time that we have right now, because honestly, there will be a time that this will be over. And when we go back to work and our lives are back to being busy, we're going to look back on this and go, man, I wish I could spend time at home. So right now, spend that time with your family.
Thank you. Ms. Caramillo?
I would recommend to those parents that just like other parents have said, enjoy the time that now, value it, and don't stress. Don't stress, because stress slows us down, and that's not what we need. We just need to, follow whatever we need to have done with the kids, but don't stress them out and don't stress ourselves either.
And that's good advice, because stress leads to other issues that opens your body up to being susceptible to catching stuff. So enjoying it. I can tell you guys have turned lemons into lemonade. I recently posted on Facebook something you might want to look at. One of you referred to it. I think Ms. Gantt did. I posted something for mental health. There are mental health activities to do with your child, and they're really good. And one of them was what you did with Jackson. But it's, they really should be journaling at this time, because this will never happen again. Not like this. We will learn from this. Governments will learn from this less slowly this time. And so this is a very unique setting that needs to be archived by your kids and you in somehow captured, so that in a few years, when you revisit it, you're going to shake your head and you say, I just can't believe we were able to have lunches this fast. We were able to have school this fast. They sent home the computer. All of this, that if somebody had said we can do that in a week's time, all superintendents would have gone, no.
Right.
I will say that, like, the schools here, I mean, we live in Wiley, and so they, take them a while to kind of get used to passing out the computers and getting a system going. And friends of mine are asking, how is Joaquin doing? And I said, day one, Monday after spring break, he was doing schoolwork. We went and got his computer only because I need my computer, my house computer, the little one needs husband needs his computer. So I said, we didn't skip a beat. We were on it. And so they were very envious of that. So I will say that Legacy did overachieve on that, because it's not a difference,
And a subject for a different podcast maybe is the fact that because we're new tech, our secondaries had their own computer, they had their work online already. So even before we deployed computers, those kids that had computers at home, they could just keep on keeping on because that's what they always did. So anyway, well, again, thank you, ladies. We've come to the end of our time, but I thank you for again, remote risk-taking and coming in and sharing your stories. Maybe in 2-3 months when we are really good at this, we'll revisit and see how much you guys have grown over time. But again, thank you for coming in.
All right.
We'll keep in touch. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the invite.
Thank you for tuning in to the Ask Dr. Be Good show. For more information on Legacy Preparatory Charter Schools, visit our website, legacypca.com, or call 469-249-1099. And remember to like us on Facebook, where we stream live weekly Tuesdays at 3 p.m.